When I was a kid, the coolest thing about me was that my mom works on The Simpsons. For 22 years, I got to glimpse behind the scenes of the longest running American TV show sitcom in history.
Go on! Swim to freedom! Go!
This came in really handy when you were an awkward Indian middle schooler just trying to make friends. Over the years, I became a Simpsons stan. I learned what vegetarianism and feminism were through Lisa, delighted in the wit and satire that tore down our country's great leaders, and even stood still if my mom needed an extra person for a crowd scene. But as the years progressed, I started to notice something else. The Simpsons could sometimes be kind of racist. I wasn't the only one to notice. In recent years, The Simpsons have come under intense scrutiny for racist stereotypes, specifically for the character Apu, depicted in comedian Kondabolu's 2017 documentary, The Problem With A Poo.
There are accents that, by their nature, to white Americans, sound funny, period.
It's funny because it's racist.
The Simpsons were really defensive about this, even using my favorite character, Lisa Simpson, as a boomer ventriloquist dummy.
Something that started decades ago and was applauded and inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do?
Some things will be dealt with at a later date.
If at all.
But the debate was strong, and the ongoing controversy eventually led to white voice actor Hank Azaria stepping down from playing the character of Apu. And then, The Simpsons decided to quietly get rid of his character in 2018. During this global uprising against racism, The Simpsons have joined a growing list of cartoons pledging to no longer use white voice actors to voice people of color. There's just one problem. This is quite literally lip service. The issue of diversity and proper representation on The Simpsons didn't originate with the voice talent, or even with Hank Azaria, or even with all of the animators from South Korea who are paid a fraction of what their American counterparts make. The problem started in the writer's room. If you take a look back at all 128 writers who have worked on The Simpsons from 1989 until now, you'll notice exactly one thing. Most of these writers are white, male, and most likely from Harvard. In fact, Mimi Pond, who wrote the pilot Simpsons episode, Simpsons Roasting Over an Open Fire in 1989, didn't even get a staff position, specifically because she was a woman. This could explain why, despite comedy luminaries like Conan O'Brien emerging from the Simpsons writer's room, we're still stuck with shit like this, or this. As a half-Indian kid who literally grew up in and on The Simpsons, I have really mixed feelings about all of this. On one hand, my mom drew a lot of Apu's wedding party. On the other hand, my dad was a talented Indian cinematographer who couldn't find work in Hollywood for ages because of his accent. And at the same time, Apu was one of the only Indian characters on mainstream American television for decades. This leaves me with a lot of questions. Do characters like Apu do more harm than good to people like me and my extended family? Is having a feeble representation of our culture better than having no representation at all? The answer is actually really simple. Hire some writers of color. Seriously, just hire some damn writers of color. I'm just speaking from an American-born confused Desi experience, but maybe if we had a Hari Kondabolu or a Mindy Kaling or a Hassan Minhaj in the room, maybe we could still get that edgy, subversive, relatable humor we love from The Simpsons without having to trade 9-year-old Manjula for goats. And maybe we wouldn't have to get rid of Apu's entire family, because maybe he would have been written the right way to begin with. If Hollywood has shown us anything, it's that comedies featuring people of color in real, funny, and three-dimensional ways hit box office gold. No one is faulting The Simpsons for not being perfect in 1989. People fault The Simpsons for continuing to punch down and refusing to evolve. In other words, The Simpsons has been treading water for decades. No one under 30 watches it unless it's a meme. It's not because of the supremely talented animating and directing staff, and it's not necessarily because of the voice talent either. It's because of the writing. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to leave you with a list of cringeworthy racist moments, some of which my mom had to animate. Number 1, Apu's affair. Number 2, The Simpsons go to India. Number 3, the portrayal of Brazil. Number 4, black voice.
Hey guys, come on, shut up.
Number 5, all of Japan. So seriously, Simpsons, as someone who knows you really well, do better. A show that was once anti-establishment and groundbreaking has lost ground time and time again because of a refusal to grow. No one wants to watch a show that sounds like their racist grandpa wrote it.
There are too many states nowadays. Please eliminate 3.
If you don't want your cultural relevance to continue to decline, step up your game. Stop being stuck in your boomer ways.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me.
And hire a K-Ling.